Welcome back everyone. In today's video, we are going to talk about health, its definition, dimensions, and determinants of health. How many times we might have heard health is wealth. Also, there are sayings in almost all the languages to promote positive health. Staying healthy is one of the most important things so that we can enjoy our life. But then question arise, what is health? In the era of information outbreak through social media platforms on how to stay healthy, do we really know health in its true sense? So we try to define this profound phenomena using various aspects and we still remain baffled and elusive. Let us try to explore health and various aspects of it to understand it properly. So in this today's lecture, we are going to define health. We will learn its dimensions. We will also explore standard of living, level of living, quality of life. We will explain physical quality of life index as well as human development index. And lastly, we will also learn the determinants of health. So what is health? Understanding that absence of disease is one of the oldest, ancient, and also the simplest definition of health. It was also widely believed that one should at peace with self, community, God, and cosmos, as it is found in various ancient civilizations like Egypt, Chinese, Indian. Chinese believed in balancing yin and yang to stay healthy. So as Indian believed in Surya Nadi and Chandra Nadi. And the ancient Greeks and Indians were believed that there is kind of disturbance of bodily equilibrium which leads to disease. They called it humor, dosa in Indian context. Indian Ayurveda described it as a three dosa theory as a vat, pith and kapha, and their imbalance leads to diseases. Modern medicine is often accused of only paying attention to diseases and studying disease, and not much effort have been made to discover how to stay healthy or maintain health. Involvement of other treatment modality like Ayurveda, Siddha, homeopathy is one such steps by the Ayush department. More and more people have started incorporating yoga, pranayama, meditation in their daily life. As our understanding of health has improved, health became worldwide social goal from individual concern. And the countries and people all over the world started thinking how health can be delivered to all. So they gathered in Almaty in 1979 and declared health for all by 2000. Then came Millennium Development Goals (MDG) in 2000, which identified priority areas and to achieve it by 2015. Then in 2015, it is evolved into Sustainable Development Goals to keep working on health for all. Biomedical concept which includes germ theory of disease caused by the germs, which is failed to explain the major health problems like malnutrition, chronic diseases, accidents, mental illness, alcoholism, etc. Man is viewed as a machine and when it is out of order, we say it is having disease and doctor's task is to repair it. Owing to incomplete biomedical concept, ecological concept came into picture, which describe health as a dynamic equilibrium between man and his environment. Examples are the food famine and food scarcity due to large-scale events like tsunami, volcanic eruption, and earthquakes. Holistic concept emphasizes promotion and protection of health, as view held by the ancient that health implies a sound mind in sound body, in sound family, in sound environment. So what is the definition of it? Health is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being and not merely absence of disease or infirmity. Here, state is very important keyword. It means condition or shape which can change from time to time. In recent years, this statement has been amplified to include the ability to lead a socially and economically productive life. Physical, mental, and social dimension of health function and interact with one another. Physical dimension of health conceptualizes health biologically as a state in which every cell and every organ is functioning at optimum capacity and perfect harmony with rest of the body. A clean skin with good complexion, bright eyes, lustrous hair, firm flesh, sweet breath, good appetite and sound sleep, regular activity of bowels and bladder, and smooth, easy, coordinated bodily movement are few signs of physical health. Pulse rate and blood pressure normal as per the gender and the age of the person. How we can assess physical health? Well, there are several tools and techniques developed to assess physical health, like standardized questionnaires for cardiovascular diseases and respiratory diseases and clinical examination. And same can be measured at community level using indicators like death rate, infant mortality rate, and expectation of life. Mental dimension. Psychological factors can induce all kind of illness, not simply mental ones. For example, hypertension, asthma, and peptic ulcer, etc. Few example of characteristics which identify mentally healthy person are: mentally healthy person is free from internal conflict. He is not at war with himself. He accepts criticism and is not easily upset. He searches for identity. He knows himself, his needs, problems, and goals. He has good self control, balanced rationality, and emotionality. And same can be assessed at community level using mental status questionnaires by trained interviewers. Social dimension implies status of individual's relationship with other members of the society, his interpersonal ties, and involvement with the society. Then there are other dimensions of health also explained like spiritual, emotional, and vocational. More and more people are turning towards the spiritual aspect of life and doing yoga, pranayam, meditation, etc. and searching for the purpose in life, ethics, etc. Emotional dimension is becoming more and more important because the way people are becoming addicted to technology and connected to each other virtually and living a virtual life. Vocational dimension is also important because apart from the salary people are getting for their job, they also want to enjoy their work and want to achieve sense of goal achievement and satisfaction in whatever work or job they are in. Then there are other dimensions also there like philosophical dimension, cultural dimensions, socio-economic, environmental, education, nutritional, curative and preventive dimensions. Positive health. Because everything in our life is subjected to change, positive health always remain a mirage. And so one has to modify and adapt continuously. And as far as the doctors and other public health experts or policymakers are concerned, they have to act like gardener or farmers who are continuously taking care of their plants like watering, removing weeds and insects from time to time. Whatever health parameters we are applying to particular community or country, same cannot be ditto copied to other countries. For example, newborn weight in India is considered at 2.5 kg as normal, which is 3.5 kgs in developed countries. Many normal people show heart murmurs, enlarged tonsil, and X-ray shadow in their chest, and yet do not show any sign of ill health. Thus, health is a relative concept and health standards vary among cultures, social classes, and age groups. This implies that health in any society should be defined in terms of prevailing ecological conditions. Concept of well-being. It has been pointed out that well-being of an individual or group of individuals have both objective and subjective components. Standards of living and level of living are examples of objective components, while quality of life is example of subjective component. Standard of living. Consider it as money we are spending or the goods and services we are enjoying. It includes the level of education, employment status, food, dress, house, amusement, and comforts of modern living. Different level of standard of living among different countries can be simply compared by using their per capita gross national product or their income. Level of living. The parallel term for standard of living used is level of living. It consists of 9 components: health, food consumption, education, occupation and working conditions, housing, social security, clothing, recreation and leisure, and human rights, of which health is very much important. Concept of well-being. Physical Quality of Life Index (PQLI). When it seems almost impossible to define and measure quality of life, PQLI Physical Quality of Life Index is one of such attempts to develop a composite index using number of health indicators. It measures the result of efforts put by the government for their citizens so that national and international comparison become possible. PQLI includes infant mortality rate, life expectancy at age 1, and literacy. For each component, the performance of the individual is placed on the scale of 0 to 100. 0 means worst and 100 means best. PQLI is also scaled to 0 to 100. Here it is important to note that income is not included, asserting that money is not important. Money is not everything. For example, most of the Middle East countries, they are very rich because of their oil products, but they are far behind from the state like Kerala and country like Sri Lanka because of the other parameters like literacy and life expectancy at age 1. In short, PQLI measures the result of social, economic and political policies. Human Development Index. If we want to sum the total of human lives, we need a measure that projects development beyond income, because income only facilitates development and it is not the end. So here is the another composite index known as Human Development Index (HDI), a composite index focusing on 3 basic dimensions of human development: to lead a long and healthy life measured by life expectancy at birth, the ability to acquire knowledge measured by mean years of expected years of schooling, and the ability to achieve a decent standard of living measured by gross national income, purchasing power parity in US dollar. This figure summarizes how the Human Development Index is constructed. The Human Development Index value range between 0 to 1, and it is classified into 4 categories: low, medium, high and very high. So the value less than 0.55 is classified as low HDI, and the values between 0.55 to 0.669 is classified as medium Human Development Index. Our country India belongs to this category, medium Human Development Index. Values between zero point 0.7 to 0.799 is considered as high Human Development Index, and the value more than 0.8 are considered as very high human development index. Switzerland, most of the Scandinavian countries, US, UK, Canada, Australia, all these countries belongs to very high category of human development index. While a countries all over the world is trying to do the best for their citizens, value of human development index shows how much distance a country has traveled in this journey to achieve the maximum possible value to one. Goalpost. These are the minimum and maximum values used to calculate human development index. Life expectancy range from minimum 20 years to 85 years. Mean years of schooling range from minimum 0 to 15, so as the expected years of schooling from 0 to 80. Per capita income PPP in dollars range from $100 to maximum $75,000. This is the graph showing the comparison of India, Pakistan and Afghanistan as far as the Human Development Index is concerned. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, the Human Development Index growth was halted for many countries. India ranks to 132, slipped to 2 points from 130 in 2020. This is the graph showing the Human Development Index of Switzerland. It is 0.962. In this index, Switzerland is at the topmost position and India at 132 position among 191 countries total. African country South Sudan is at the lowest position in this index. Our fierce competitor and powerful neighbor China, and the one that passed through the major economic crisis recently, Sri Lanka, doing fairly good as far as the Human Development Index is concerned. Owing to the fact that to describe the level of health, there is no single cutoff point, and hence the health and disease can be seen as a continuum where lowest point is death and highest point correspond to the WHO definition of positive health. As it is tried to depict in the figure that it is a dynamic state and transition from one state to another in any direction is gradual, and to draw line between the two states often a matter of judgment by healthcare providers. Spectrum of health. It implies that health is a state, not a tone attained once and for all, but over to be renewed. There are degrees or level of health as there are degrees of severity of illness. Some degree of health is with us as long as we are alive. As I said earlier also that health has to be nurtured like a plant, taking care of it almost every day like gardener or farmer. Determinants of health. Let us now briefly review the determinants of health. To determine means cause something to occur in particular way or to have a particular nature, right? So determinants of health are those factors which decide your health or ill health. So our health as an individual, families, communities or societies is influenced by various factors. Biological is about the genetic makeup of individual which is unique and responsible for the diseases like mental retardation, asthma, hemoglobinopathies and error of metabolism, having genetic origin and strong family history. Whether person wants to wear helmets or not while driving is an example of behavioral determinants, which is again influenced by social values, attitudes, and activities throughout our social interaction with parents, peer groups, friends, and siblings, and through schools and mass media. The environmental factors range from housing, water supply, psychosocial stress, and family structure through social and economic support system to the organization of the health and social welfare services in the community. Our income, education, occupation, and political system long been known to influence our health. It is worthwhile to note here that India's spending on health is very small as compared to many developed nations. Vaccinating children, protecting pregnant women, provision of safe water all comes under health system, which should be equitably distributed, it should be accessible to all, socially acceptable, and at the cost that people can afford it. That is what we call primary healthcare. Socio-cultural practices like food taboos, multiple pregnancy, female genital mutilation, and alcohol and tobacco consumption can adversely affect our health. With increasing aging population, there will be an increased prevalence of chronic diseases and disabilities. Science and technology, along with the spreading of awareness among people regarding positive health, will improve the health of the society. At the same time, gender issue, particularly violence and abuse of women across the world, need to be continuously attended to bring gender equity. Human rights and social justice and equity is also of paramount importance to deliver health services without any bias and prejudice, irrespective of the caste and creed.